High-risk investment. Trading on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Market opinions. Any opinions, news, research, analyses, prices, or other information contained on this video is provided as general market commentary and does not constitute investment advice. MasterTheMarkets will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation to any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on such information.
Hi traders, welcome to our live trading workshop. It's Stu on here, founder of Master the Markets A-Trace Conference and the Traders Open Day. So what do we have in store for you today? So we will be taking a look at the first thing. We will take a look at live trades that are happening according to our stretch principle and also to our trend alignment tables. That's what we'll be taking a look at. Live trading and potential trade setting up. The second thing, we'll also be taking a look at a topic for today, which the team has found for today going to be how to stop overtrading. So we have prepared some slides. We've got some time to do that. And then finally, we will also take a look at some Q&A, right? Some questions and answers over there. So that's the kind of format. Those of you joining us for the first time, that's what I just wanted to cover. And then with that said, I think let's carry on without further ado to the charts. Now, let me take a look at what's going on over here. Let me just bring that over here. We got some good strength coming up in the currency asset classes. So let me just bring that up over here. I can bring it up there as well. So actually, you know what? I'll take a look from the stretch principle first. Now, in terms of the stretch principle, the range is 87 today. What was the ATR yesterday? 88. I believe that there's still some move left over here, even though it's formed its range. But in one way, we can take a look at in terms of the lower time frames alignment. Okay, so I'll be going through that very quickly here, but very simply, you can see with what we have designed here at Master the Market, so the smart money indicator, you can see we have quantified the tops and bottoms, what you can see over here, right? So with that, I can get the trend alignment very easily. So you can see that over here, this is an uptrend at the moment, and this is actually aligning across all time frames, right? So this is what we're having. So on the 1 hour, it's up, and also on the 4 hour, as you can see, let me just reduce that a little bit. And you can see that over here as well, right? On the 4 hour, that's on the uptrend as well, okay? So that's what we're seeing. Now, what kind of trades am I looking at, actually? Usually we take a look at two strategies, isn't it, traders? One is the stretch principle. The other one is basically the momentum trades, okay, on a momentum strategy in alignment with the 15-minute time frame. Right, so now let's take a look. I mean, in terms of the stretch principle, it looks like most of them have formed their range. I'll quickly flick through together with you guys. Over here, you can see that on euro dollar, we just had a confirmation just now, didn't we? We could look at that as well. So I know I did take a look at this just now. It's just run through quite a bit. So 60. So that is gone past this range really much further higher. What I was really taking a look at was on the 15-minute time frame just now, just before we were about to come here. But that has actually run a little bit. That's fine. I'll come back to this. Let me see if there's any live ones happening at the moment. So this dollar Swiss is what I was taking a look at. So this would be one of our perfect scenarios here. So let's focus on this one so I can show you a live example happening at the moment. In fact, we also will be trading live on the April in the IX Trader show that's happening on the 4th of April. So you guys will be getting emails as well. So I will put in touch now. I'll talk about all that later. Let me just see on this trade at the moment. So over here, you can see that this is a downtrend already, right? So remember the trend alignment tables that we had before. So over here, you see, so I've got a downtrend at the moment. I'll quickly go on to the 4 hour over here as well. And then you can see there's a downtrend phase one there too as well. Okay, I'll take a look at the volume as well very soon, designed by the trade guider and their team, Gavin Holmes and his team. So I'll take a look at that very shortly. Now, on the 1 hour, as you can see, this is a downtrend phase two at the moment. So this is perfect. They're all aligning, so this is really good. And then on the 15-minute, I'm just going to quickly drop it down. There we go, bingo. So we got the downtrend, we got an uptrend actually, phase two. Okay, so you're just going to be quickly a little bit aware of that one there. So uptrend phase two, there's a bit of a trend change there. But on the 1 hour stretch, that's a lower time frame, it's taken out the lower stretch, as you can see. What do I mean? This lower red line over here that is taken out. And then after that, then you can see also the on the ATR range. Now, has it formed this ATR range? I'm quickly going to check that on the daily time frame. Now, let me see. So 48. So this one is 50. Yes, it has done it, isn't it? Usually after it's formed its range, then it starts to go sideways a little bit. So I'll just put that in here as well. Okay, ATR range, yes, it has done that to the downside. Okay, bias is towards the short side over here. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment. Now, how will I look to take trades in this? So let me just get the no fill out here. Right, that's good. So on dollar Swiss, how I will take a look on our first strategy on the stretch principle, it looks like it's already done its range, so we can't take any more trades on that one. But in terms of the 15-minute time frame, the only issue we got here is that it's an uptrend phase two, so it's not aligning along with its trend on the higher time frame, which is actually showing a downtrend phase two to come back into a phase one. So the first thing I would do is I would wait for at least a compression or for this to come back into its downtrend. But the first level I would take maybe is this one. So I'm not getting a good signal on this one. Let me just take a look at other instruments then. As I said, always, we don't need to force a trade in. So we just have to wait on it and preserve our profits until we get it. Now on the 1 hour on the GPUSD, let me quickly just take a look at that. Now this would be perfect. Uptrend phase two is what we got here. So let me quickly do that over here. So we got uptrend phase one over here, uptrend phase one as well, and uptrend phase two, perfect. So I will transfer all that here, and then we got uptrend phase two. So let me just remove this one for a bit. And then on the 15-minute, now that's interesting, right? So let's take a look on the 15-minute. Cable is on a really good run at the moment. There we go, bingo. So we had a trade. I should have taken a look at this just as we started. So we got one over here, right? Which we had, but that's a downtrend phase two over here, which is what I've got. Let me just do that. Right, but direction alignment is there. And then if I go on to the 1 hour stretch, very clear, isn't it? It's taken out its upper stretch over there, okay? So that's what we are looking for. So over here, that's on the upside. And then the ATR range, yes, it has definitely formed that already. That's a bit obvious. Now, on this particular strategy, what you can then do is we usually go for a 1 ATR number. This trade is a little bit past. But on here, what we usually will do, if you do want to take this, even though the trend alignment is not there, but direction alignment is there, what we can usually do, traders, we can take on the 180R number over here. So let me take a look. So 180R number is about 15. So what we would do from here, we would put a target of 15. So this one did hit it very immediately. It's a pity I wasn't able to show this to you in real time, but that's how you would do it, and that hit the target. But on dollar Swiss though, it looks to be retracing a little bit. If we were to do the same kind of trade over here, what we would do, and we can take a look at this and how this behaves. If I did that over there, right? And if I were to put a red one here on the downside, over here, what we would do is we would take a 180R number also, and that would have been, did it just hit it or did it just miss it? On a pip basis, it might have missed it. On a close, minus 10, 88.67, isn't it? 88.67 is what I would take a look at. 88.67. I'm getting a lot of messages where people are saying that for the newbies, actually, they are not understanding some of the terminology. Just hang on a minute. I will give that to you guys. So 88.67 is what I will be taking a look at over here, isn't it? 88.77, 88.67 to come out. In this case, it's not really coming in our favor, but wait and see how this plans out to be. If you want to follow on the same tracks as the second strategy. Now, to answer those questions on people saying, where do I find out more about the strategies? I haven't been following you guys much so far. What I can definitely suggest to you guys is go to youtube.com/masterthemarkets. Look through our videos over there. One thing you definitely need to look at on the first strategy is the stretch principle, right? So that will give you a really good understanding of what we're talking about here. Those of you who've been coming quite regularly, you understand it and you're doing it yourself. That's great. And on the other hand, on the 7 steps to CTP. So if you want to understand the framework, what we have created over here, right? With all the arrows and the dots and all that on TradingView and MT4 and NinjaTrader as well, we got it. Now, if you want to understand all of that, then I will highly recommend 7 steps to CTP. And then once you register with your name, email, and number, then you would then get your 7-part video series, and you can watch that at your own leisure. Each one is about 10 to 15 minutes. Highly recommend it. It's a high amount of research that we have put in, over 15 years of research. Okay, so good. So that's that one there. So please do check that out when you got your own time. So this is on the dollar Swiss and the GBP USD. That this one, you see, it just hit that target. But remember, I just want to caution you guys that once it has done its range based on the stretch principle, it will start to do a little bit of sideways movement. So on the second strategy, if you're to do that, you just got to be a bit more careful. Let me see if I can find something where we are able to see if we can find something that the range hasn't been formed yet. This is on the DAX. So has the range been found? 80% of 438. 80% of 438. Let me do that. That's about 320, isn't it? Has it done that? Yes, this one has done that as well, isn't it? Yeah, today I think most of them have done it. Let me see if I can find something. Maybe the S&P. There we go. The S&P, on the other hand, this is 80%, 80 points, isn't it? It's 64. There we go. So here, this is a good one. So over here, we got on the 1 hour time frame, we got a downtrend over here, right? And let me see on the 15-minute, what's it doing? And there we go. Trend is not prevalent. So what I would do is, this is a compression at the moment. So what I would do is, I would wait for this bottom or any of the bottoms to confirm with a dot, right? And then after that, then look for the top to confirm. Then it comes into a downtrend phase 1, right? Or direction alignment happens, even if it's an EMC in that case. Then we can start to take it for a 180R number as well, okay? This is what we do in terms of all the alignment of the time frames. Now, before I do that, also, another thing I also take a look at is the volume as well, as you can see over here. So if I can take a look at that, let's see over here. Over there, let's see. Yeah, right. So let me just go through the on the volume side of things as well, as some of you guys are asking, isn't it? So on over here, on if I were to put the volume on top, I've got one with the volume in there. So I'm taking a look at the S&P and the dollar yen. Let me see. So there we go. So if I do the volume over here, you can see it's all overlaid. A good one really is that this has been designed by the Trade Guider team, by Gavin Holmes and his team. Over here, you can see the VSA light when it shows red, as well as volume confirming as well. And along with our signals, along with trend, that becomes a very powerful trade to take, okay? So these are the things that I will start to take a look at as well, okay? Now, in terms of, I think one of you guys, Andre, I think you asked about the gold, right? Let's take a look at gold trade over here. Now, gold over here on the higher time frame, it's saying uptrend phase one, okay, over here. So let me put that into the trend alignment tables over here. So let's take a look at this together. Uptrend phase one on the 4 hour over here. Let me just quickly take a look at that. On the 4 hour, however, that's a downtrend phase two that I'm getting over here, right? Downtrend phase two. I think I put it on the wrong one. Let me just put it here. Uptrend phase one on the daily. Over here, what I'm getting is a downtrend phase two on the 4 hour. Let me take a look on the 1 hour now. On the 1 hour time frame, that has broken the stretch. That's well pointed out, actually, Andre. Over here, you can see that that's on the, but still it's an uptrend phase two here, right? That's what we've got to be careful of, uptrend phase two, right? The trend is not aligning very well. Uptrend phase two, 15-minute. Let me just take a look at that very quickly. This is why you need to have the framework of the tops and bottoms quantification. That's what we've done here at Master the Markets. And then over here, you can see that over here, downtrend. This is a downtrend phase one at the moment, which is what is showing you here. So let me just collect that together. 1 hour stretch is on the lower side, right? Sorry, I think I put this on the wrong place. Right, so that's a gold over there. So this one is a downtrend. Let me see. So it's a downtrend phase one at the moment, right? So that's a downtrend phase one. 1 hour stretch. Let me see. It's quite obvious. It's taken out the lower one over here. So that is the lower one. And ATR range, as it formed it yet. Let's take a look at it together. On the daily, we can see that this one here, the ATR range, let me see. The ATR is 42, so 0.8 times 42, that's about $32. So this is 28. So it's still yet to do that. Its range, so it hasn't done its range yet. So I would just say no on here. Let me just put that no. Right, so that's good. And entry bias. Now, let's take a look at this together, right? You can immediately see that there's a bit of contradictory signals coming in, isn't it? Daily is on uptrend phase one, 4 hours is in a downtrend phase two, but the direction alignment is still towards the upside, right? I talked about this last time, remember traders? So in the uptrend phase one, this is direction alignment towards the upside. And on the 4 hour, you can see that this is a downtrend phase two, but direction alignment is still towards the upside, yeah? One is trend alignment, another one is direction alignment. I went through this in the last video. Remember, just to reference it very quickly, on the YouTube channel, if you go under live, all our lives will be there. And we covered this actually here, when to enter and exit a trade, okay? So that's the one. Now we are going live. So another thing what I did forget to mention, I know some of you always ask, and it's a popular question that always keeps coming up, is that if you do want to know when we go live, what I would suggest is click on this, not only click on the subscribe button. I know some of you have clicked on subscribe button, but you still say, you know what, I'm still not getting notifications. Click on the all bell icon as well. Okay, so that is important. All right. Okay, good. So now let's go back to here now. And so over here, so let me just go back to the trend alignment tables. So over here, we're getting a little bit of mixed signals, isn't it? So uptrend phase one, right? Downtrend phase two. Direction alignment is there. This is an uptrend phase two on the 1 hour, but still good because the trend is aligning. And this is the one that we are waiting for, downtrend phase one. If I get a direction alignment, I can take this towards the upside, but the caution is, traders, very important. The caution is there, but on the stretch side towards the range, okay, today it's towards the low side. So I'm getting really lots of conflicting signals over here. So on things like that, we usually will take a step back and not take the trade. But let me just take a look at the volume very quickly as well, and what the volume is saying over here. Now on the gold, let me bring up the gold chart here. Yeah, I did see it there. There you go. Let's take a look over here. On the gold chart, right, on the gold chart over here, let me put the on the 1 hour time frame. And over here, let me put the VSA light on here as well. Sometimes it just goes off, not sure why. Yeah, I've got it over here, isn't it? So on the VSA light over here, it's showing you a red dot. Can you see that? So that's good as well. And then the volume is spiking. But then the most important thing here is there a follow through? Is there a follow through on this bar? If it closes higher, then the volume is saying towards the upside. That might be a trend change occurring very shortly. Let me see on the 15-minute over here what we are getting. Over here on the 15-minute, still getting a red dot. So you see, it's a bit tricky. It's not really correlating. But if you do want to be a bit aggressive and you do want to take a bit of a conflicting signal still, if you do want to take it, and if it's in your strategy rules, what I would say is the first thing you should do is wait for the 15-minute confirmation. Wait for a dot to happen, okay, on the SMI. After that, see if this turns into gray and see if the volume is supporting. The good part is the main thing here that I just observed on the 15-minute is that the volume is being supported over here on this low here, because the volume came in here, spiked up over the third moving average here on the latest one with the volume from Trade Guider. And the next bar, look at that, right? It's still closing above, right? And this one is still standing true. So what I would say is, if you do want to take this trade, in terms of the alignment with the higher time frames here, right on with the 1 hour and the daily and the 4 hour, my only suggestion, it's still against the stretch being taken out to the lower side. What I would then suggest is on the 15-minute, still wait for a confirmation, and then we'll take it to the 180 level. Okay, so that's what I would wait for. I did mention this in the last one as well. Okay, in the when to enter and exit a trade, we did take a look at the DAX over there. And then if you're on our email list, you would have got the emails on what the trades did actually. And I think we did take on the DAX or on the Euro, I can't remember, but it did hit I think it's the DAX, yes, it hit the target over there. And we were waiting for a dot. Now, waiting for the bottom confirmation and the top confirmation really will save you from taking lots of very impatient trades, impulse trades, and also will stop you from taking early trades which don't go in your favor. Okay, so that's why the quantification that we got over here at Master the Markets, which was given to us, the formulas were given to us by actually the quant traders, is very, very helpful. Okay, so do wait for them to come across. I know we had some comments saying, oh, why am I not seeing the trade live? Because we have to wait for them. We don't take it by impulse. That's why the strategy rule is very important. Okay, we have the intraday strategy rules, but we ourselves over here, Master Markets, we need a bit more intraday traders because we can't do everything. Me, myself, personally, I do more on higher time frames. But because we're strategy developers and we understand all this, how this works, we got loads of intraday strategies as well, which is what I'm showing you here. But of course, don't expect us to feed you with a silver spoon on every single trade. We can't do that. There's not much time. But definitely the rules, what we're giving you here, you can definitely use that in your own strategy. Okay? Right, good. So that said, so that's how I would play this. But then because if you still want to take a trade on this, I'll see how this plans out to be, if you do get a bottom confirmation or not. But if I do take it, I'll take it at a lower risk, okay? On a lower risk on this position because of the trend alignments and also the stretch being taken out to the lower side. That's what I would do on this. But a more clearer one would have been on here, right? If you follow all the same rules, what we're saying on cable, this would have been a great trade on a second strategy on one target being hit, okay? But on the other strategy, in terms of stretch principle, you would have taken it much more earlier in the morning. But by the time you do the US, the range has already been formed. So put those principles, as I said, watch those videos, and you can do this. This keeps recurring every single day. That's why we're really looking for more people to come on board and take on this intraday thing. Remember, with strategies, it's always not just about one trade, right, traders? You've got to be very consistent. This is how the professional thinks, okay? Until you can apply the consistency, no strategy in this world will work, okay? Because trading is not about one trade, and probabilities don't work over just one trade, okay? So that's what you're going to be taking a look at. I believe the two things that I'm taking a look at is the dollar Swiss and that. You see, on this particular trade, you see this one would not have worked out for you, but on cable, it did, right? So this one would have been a loss, and the loss would have been taken out when the opposite bar confirms over here. So this is where we would have taken a loss on this. So over here, as you can see over here on this particular trade, from the close to the close over here, because opposite bottom is confirmed. This is why so important to quantify your tops and bottoms. Remember I said with the trend alignment tables, the bias was towards the short side, right? Was towards the short side. So if you take a look over here on dollar Swiss, you see the bias was towards the short side, right? And the range has already formed as well, okay? So when that has happened, as I said, it will do some sideways movements, but if you did take it, then this would have been a minus 7 pips of loss. On the other one, on the cable, if you had taken that just before we, as we started, that would have given us a target of 15 pips. So 15 minus 7, that's about 8 pips in net profit. Okay, now the next one that you can start to take a look at is the gold trade. If it does confirm, and then we'll see how that plans out to be. Again, we will do the same thing again. Let's see if it does confirm or not. I've got one more topic to do for you guys after this as well, isn't it? So we can just take a look at it later on. Also, this is the stop loss where we'll put, but I need to wait, very important. Yeah, I need to wait for the confirmation, okay? Need to wait for the dot and the arrow to come. And then after that, then I'll take a look at the ATR number. That's about $6, isn't it? So 2907. So I will wait for about $6, something like that here. And then we are good to go, right? So once that confirms, we'll come in and check in and see how that happens. Remember, you can do the same thing also on a 5-minute time frame also as well, okay? If it all aligns. Let me just quickly take a look. So there you go. So you can do the same thing over here as well. That just happened, but the ATR number will change. That's $5.23 over here. This is a really good setup because it also trend changed by taking this out as well, okay? $5.23, where would that be? That would be here. So I can show you exactly where would that be. So close 2904, right? 2904. 0.92 plus the $5.23. Okay, let's do that. 2910.15. 2910.15. That's where it would be at in terms of the target. And your stop loss would be, if you're taking it on the 5-minute time frame, then would be for the last swing. Okay, so that's what we will be taking a look at. All right, so we'll see how this plans out to be if you want to take it on the 5-minute time frame. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, as I said, not sorry, on the 1 hour, on the 15-minute time frame, if you do want to take a look at this, then that would be one more dollar on the top, isn't it? Because if it does confirm from here, well, that would be much more further. Let me just see. If it does confirm 2907, but that's $6.50, isn't it? So let's take a look at this. So $6.50, that'd be 2914.08. Okay. And let me take a look at, so this is your 15-minute target, right? No, sorry, this is your 5-minute target on a 1 ATR number based on open equity data. And this is your 15-minute target, okay? So we'll see how that plans out to be. And in terms of the others, let me see. I'll just take a look on the volume as well. So the volume is correlating because the volume spike here, it closed above. That's good. And on the 5-minute, let me see how the VSA dot is. Probably here, when it's coming, that's when you get the gray dot over here, right? That's what is happening over here. So we'll wait and see how this plans out to be. I believe, if I'm not wrong, the 5-minute target would have been hit. Yeah, there you go. There you go in real time, right? So the 5-minute target is hit at the moment, as you can see over here, right? It just spiked through that, okay? Now, on the 15-minute, if you do want to take that, as I said, it's a different entry rules. You got to wait for the bottom to confirm, okay? So that's what you got to take a look at. So I guess you're getting in real life examples. You can see that in terms of a couple of trades, isn't it, today that happened. GBP, that was on the winning side, dollar Swiss on the losing side. And now you can see gold on the 5-minute, it did hit its target. But let's see on the 15-minute how we get this planning to be, okay? But hopefully you saw how I put everything together. The principles is what I want you all to see so that, you know, you always don't need us next to you. You can then become independent. That's what we all want to do. That's what a good mentor is, to teach you so that you finally become fully independent, okay? Okay, good. So now, based on all of this then, so now let's go and look at our topic for today, right, traders? Our topic for today, it's going to be on the how to stop over trading. Okay, and I'm a bit over time. Let me see if I can do a good justice for this. I'll spend about 5 to 10 minutes on this. So the topic that came about is how to stop over trading. We had a few points that I had put across. The first thing I had said that have a trading plan. Okay, this is what I said. Have a trading plan. Now everybody talks about a trading plan. Now we went through a bit more in detail on the last YouTube live as well, what a trading plan really out is. The first thing I would say, to keep it simple, I would say is write out all your strategy rules. Okay, this is what we call over here a crib sheet. A crib sheet is what you would write out your entry rules, all right, your pre-trade entry rules, you know, your intra-trade entry rules, your stop loss rules, then that will be segregated into initial and trading stop loss rules. Finally, then your target, your pre-trade target rules, and when you're in the trade, how would that target rules differ? Finally, then you should have your risk management. But before you construct all of this, you should have a concept and objective for your strategy, okay? This is what we all cover in Traders Basecamp and all of that in our programs, okay? Strategy construction is very important. Not many people really talk about this. And that is why a lot of clients who come to us, you know, they're a bit confused. They don't know how to take it forward. And they have a lot of issues into making consistent performance, okay? So that's that one there on the trading plan over here. Now, that's the first thing. Now, that will help you stop the overtrading. Now, why? Because you have all your rules written out and you keep it next to you before you start to take the trade. Okay, clarity, right? Will always help you. Now, however, I know some of you, I can hear you saying, this has happened to me as well in the beginning, is that even though you've got all your rules, sometimes our emotions take over. The impulse starts to take over, right? Just like on this gold over there, the trade, isn't it? You got to wait for the 15-minute dot to happen, but then you start seeing aggressively moving, and then you think, oh man, I've already missed this much. All these things will start to come into your psychology, right? So now, what do you then do? Okay, so even though your emotions take over, so that's where the second part then comes in. Okay, the second part then comes in into the psychology side. Now, what mainly in the psychology are we talking about? We're talking about first your pre and post trading routine, right? You've got to plan out what's the kind of routine that you're going to have before you start to think about the trades or start to get onto your trading desk and all of that. This is all preparation on your mind, working on your mind, as they say. And after you have traded, what's your post-trading routine? All this going to be listed out and executed so as to prep the mind and then to keep it conditioned like that when you're trading as well, so that the impulse doesn't happen and you can follow your rules from the beginning part over here. Okay, that's what will keep you intact. All right, now the other thing is also this why that I've written over here is two part. Now, even though you got all this, and some days you don't really feel like you want to really um follow your plan of a trade, or your losses come into your mind, or the previous trades were lost, should I really take this trade or not? So all this will come into your mind. Okay, so that's why at this time you should write the why, as in why, twofold. Why must the strategy continue to work? That's one, right? Which should have been written in your trading plan on your concept and objective over here. Okay, that's the first thing. Why must the strategy continue to work? To give you the mental state and the psychology to hit the trigger, to take that trade towards consistent execution. And I've said this before, consistent execution is the only holy grail in trading. All right. The next thing that you need to also think about is why, right? Why are you doing all of this? Right? That's the other thing you got to think about. Why are you doing all of this? Why did you even start to trade right from the beginning? Right? What is the higher ideal? What is it for? Is it just for your family? Is it just for your individual goals? That's all fine. Write it all down. Health, career, relationships, all write it down, right, in terms of individual. And I would always say also include a bit of the wider community, the society, so that then you work towards a higher goal. Now, once your mind is then aligned towards that higher goal, which is not just for yourself, but you're working, let's say, to also give money to underprivileged countries as well, then you know that, you know what, these traits I'm taking, I got to be very aware and disciplined about them, because I'm not only working for myself, but for a bigger purpose, for a wider community. Then the discipline naturally comes, right? And your psychology naturally won't take impulse traits. So all this is preparation, okay? That must be factored in your pre and post trading routine, okay? So that is on the psychology side, okay? Now, one more thing I'll give you is how to stop over trading as well, is definitely look through your stats, okay? Look through your stats review, okay? Now, have a journal, just like what we have over here, right, on our live trading room and also on our elite trading room as well. So we got a journal, right, where we log everything down. Why are we taking it? What's the probability of it? Every single thing has been logged in, okay? Now, once you have done that, then after that, then you can do some slow thinking. Now, if you're over trading already, when you look through the journal, right? I've done all this before to come to where we are today, right? When you go through that journal, then you will see the most important thing that you need to have. This is very important, right? To check whether your over trading has really helped or not. To answer this question, you need to have one journal, which is what we call the system journal. What should have been done? If it was a robot system, if you created an AI version of yourself, right? AI is everywhere right now. If you created an AI version of yourself, right? Now, would that, if it's like a robot, according to the rules, would it have taken that trade? So what should it have looked like? What should it have looked like? Then the other thing, other journal that you got is the cash, which is your broker account, right? You can look at your cash account statements. What actually happened? What actually happened? Then you can clearly see it's in front of you, right? Is that if your overtrading was here on the cash and you shouldn't have done that according to your system rules, then you can clearly see the discrepancy. And as Mark Douglas says, when you draw out your system curve, and if your cash curve is like that, and a big gap in between, then you know, clearly you can see in front of you, this overtrading is not really helping. Why am I doing it? Then you got to go back, right? Then you got to go back and see. The one good thing you can see, at least by your system, that your rules are good. There's an edge over there. The strategy is continuing to work, right? So that you can at least find appeasement in. And then after that, then you can go back to psychology and say, you know what? I need to keep working on my mind a little bit more, right? And so that it can be in discipline and it can be in peak state performance to consistently execute my trades to finally monetize the results. Okay, so that's what we can start to take a look at. So these three things will help you traders towards stopping the over trading. So go through this and reflect on it and apply it. That's the most important. No point just hearing it and not applying it. And always, as I say, a mentor will always will help you, right? If there's a fourth point I wanted to put, will be a mentor will help you because you can be accountable to them, right? Okay, because your mind will start to say, you know what? Oh yeah, I've got this meeting with Tiru coming up. I've got to show my trade journal. I better don't make any nonsensical trades. Okay, we had one trader, one of our Ultimate Advanced members clients, really amazing progress from the time he started with us and coming to us. He started to do all kinds of things just to make his account go up, right? He started to have hedging and all of that because he don't want to see losses in his trade. And he told me, Tim, I don't even know why sometimes I do all these things and I don't even have a proper strategy rules. And I kept repeating back to him, this is how you do it, show it to me next time. And he carried on for a little bit until this year, 2025, in January, and he said he had enough. He came onto the coaching session and he said, Tiru, you know what? All these times that you've been coaching me, you've been telling me it wasn't going in, but finally I just told myself this year after I had this trade, but it went into quite a bit of a loss, and I say enough is enough. I just want to follow this professionally, and I'm going to follow what Tiru and the Master the Markets team is going to tell me. So finally, it will come in when you got a mentor because the repetition finally will go in and it will change your orientation of your thoughts. So that eventually, then you take it really seriously. You got a trading plan. You work on your psychology, as I said, with your pre and post trading routine, and the why you're doing it, which is twofold in terms of why must the strategy work, and the second thing is why are you doing this for a bigger purpose. And finally, the last thing is then your stats review. Okay, towards slow thinking. Apply some slow thinking, right? Which is what I kind of missed to tell you guys. Slow thinking and look through your system versus your cash curve. Okay, don't keep always going fast, fast. Oh yeah, let me make the money. Let me chase the market. All that. Do some slow thinking. See what's working, what's not working. Hey, you know what? The system is doing well, but my cash is not. The over trading is not helping. Let me stop that. Let me work on my mind, right? And my plan is all good. But if both the system and cash are not working in your favor, then you got to go back to your trading plan and start to look into it as well. Okay, so all these things will help you. And I said the fourth point, if I want to say, is get a mentor. Okay, get a trading coach, which will help you implement all of this. And a good one that is also um, gone past this in real time as well. Okay, gone past the hurdles. I can pass the energy on to you from their experience as well. Okay, good. Traders, I guess that's pretty much that. 2:45, we ran quite a bit over time, didn't we? Let me just take a look on gold at the moment. What are we still having over here on the 15-minute? The gray dots have come on. There you go. Perfect scenario here. I think maybe we can track this and see. Not one of our best trades because the lower stretch is not really aligning. But if we did want to take it, we will take it on a lower risk. We will see and monitor this, how this comes on to be. Okay, so in real time, how we would trade this, as I said, on the 15-minute, and then we can wrap this up from the close over here, right, on the 5-minute target that has hit it, but on the 15-minute target, that is 7.30, isn't it, what we are taking a look at. So we'll see how that plans to be. 7.30, which is 2921.59. Okay, is 2921.59. That's about there. Okay, let me just delete that one there. That's how we would do it, and we would take a look at how this plans to be on the 15-minute time frame OE levels. But on the 5-minute, this has hit it, but we'll see how this goes on the 15-minute. All right, we will keep updating this. Maybe we'll put it onto the YouTube channel as well, how this trade performs. In terms of volume, it's also aligning as well. Okay, right, traders, I guess that's pretty much that from me on this one. As I said, the reminders, youtube.com/masterthemarkets. You can subscribe and hit the all bell icon. That will give you the notifications when we go live. The other thing is also the 7 steps to CTP as well. Some of you are also asking me, how do we get hold of the SMI smart money indicator as well? If you already have the volume spread analysis indicators, one thing you can definitely do, let me see if I can get that link over there. I'm not sure if I do have it. If the team can give me the SMI page, let me see if I can find that. Actually, I got it here, isn't it? Smart money indicator landing page over here. There we go. So we can go onto here and you can then take a look. We've got different versions of it. If you got any questions also, you can ask us as well on this one here. But the full version would be on the stats version over there. Okay, if the team can put the link out there, and then you guys can check this out. Okay, that's the page over there. All right, traders, I guess that will be a wrap up for today. Thanks for listening in. This is really great and really good value over here. Please do reflect on all this knowledge and definitely check out 7stepstoctp.com, because that's where the all our years of research have been put together. And as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master.